Okay. So during our last class, we made it to exercise 37. We're going to continue with exercise 38. Vamos a continuar por aquí. Okay. So the last thing we did was making logical conclusions using must. So we can use must to express logical conclusions, or they can be negative or positive logical conclusions. We can express necessity or prohibition, as we did in exercise 37. So we can use they must or must not. They must not be hungry. They must be hungry. They must be really thirsty. Must not be thirsty, etc. So it's gonna make a logical conclusion for each situation using must. So we're gonna see this first sentence here. It says Alima is crying. Now we have to make the logical conclusion that Alima is crying. She must be unhappy. Okay. So let's continue with the rest of the sentences. So over here, Mrs. Chu has a big smile on her face. We can speculate what caused her smile. Okay, so basically we have to ask ourselves, why is she smiling? Anybody have an idea why she might be smiling? Pregunto otra vez, does anybody know or have a logical conclusion for why she might be smiling? So Anjali says she got a good grade in her exam. Okay. So let's say that she got a good grade in her exam. But aquí tenemos un problemita because it says we have to use must. So en vez de decir she got a good grade, vamos a eliminar got, and we're gonna inject must in there somehow. So vamos a empezar con must. She must a good grade in her exam. Todavía falta algo. Ahora, if we go back to some exercises we did previously, we can get a better idea. We have don't have to, doesn't have to, must not. Aquí no hay. Okay. Okay, so tenemos el have to, have got to, el must. Let me see if we haven't got to. Okay, no, yo creo que no tenemos un ejemplo de eso, so I think I'm just going to have to tell you. Okay, we can use she must have gotten a good grade in her exam. Okay. I think that would be a pretty good example there. So let's go to number 3. It says Samantha is shivering. So we have to ask ourselves, why is she shivering? She is shivering because, well, there's only a couple of reasons why one might shiver. So Samantha is shivering. We have to ask ourselves, why is she shivering? And then write a logical conclusion using must. So why is she shivering? We can say
she must be scary.
She must be scared, sure. She could also be cold. She could also be disgusted, pero vamos a dejarlo con scared. Okay, good. Thank you. Vamos para la número 4. Olga watches 10 movies a week. Bueno, con Netflix, it's really not that difficult nowadays. Okay, so... diablo, le acabo de dar una contestación posible. What can we assume about Olga now that we know she watches 10 movies a week? We can see a lot of things about Olga. We can make a lot of logical conclusions about her age, her work ethic. We could speculate about whether or not she has money. Eventually, she must evaluate them. ¿Cómo que evaluar las películas? Maybe if you can add a little bit something more, it might be able to fit in here. So vamos a ver. She must evaluate. She must evaluate them. Like, what does that mean? She must have, I don't know. We could say she must not pay for her own Netflix account. No, that's not true. Even if you pay for it, you can watch a lot of movies. Okay. She must evaluate them for, let's say, a homework or something like that. Evaluate movies for a class assignment. Es más o menos lo que estás diciendo ahí, yo creo. I think that's good. All right, Evangeline, thank you. So let's continue with number 5. James is sweating. Está fácil en Puerto Rico. Sabemos mucho de eso. So James is sweating because he must be... We could say he must be nervous. We could say he must be hot. We could say he must be exercising. He must be expecting a phone call. From the IRS or something like that. We could just say he must be hot, I guess. En este caso queremos decir que debe tener calor. Exacto, Alondra, he must be hot. And number 6, Toshi can lift one end of a compact car by himself. Okay. So what can we assume about Toshi? He must be, if he can lift up a part of a car by himself, we could say that he is really strong, or we could say that he is a liar, because, you know, we could say he might be telling something that's not the truth. But let's just go for very strong. That's very strong, or maybe using some type of substance that makes him feel stronger. Well, anyways, estamos en el 38. Vamos por el 40. Okay. Okay, so let's complete these sentences with must, have to, or had to, and the correct form of the verbs in parentheses. So let's say these are sentences at work. Your eyes are red, you blank, really tired. So we have to fill in these blanks con esto que está en paréntesis. So must, have to, or had to, and esto que está aquí. So let's see. If your eyes are red, you blank, be really tired. Well, let's use either must, have to, or had to. Tenemos esas tres opciones. Let's use the first one, must. Y entonces, and we just say must be. Do we have to conjugate this be verb to something else? Porque puede ser be is, am, are, were, was. So it's a lot of little options we might be able to choose from. Del must podremos hacer el have to. You have to be really tired. You have to are. You had to. No. So let's just keep it like this. Okay. Your eyes are red. You must be really tired. En este caso estamos usando el must because we are assuming a logical conclusion, como hicimos con la parte de 38. Okay, so let's continue over here. Letter B. Yeah, I stay up all night working on a project. Ahora vayan diciéndome ustedes. So we assumed this person was really tired, must have been really tired. And now this person who was tired says that they stay up all night working on a project. We have to conjugate stay, and we have to use either must, have to, or had to. Vamos a ver si lo pegan. Okay, so we had to stay up all night. Vamos a dejar el stay como estaba and see how that looks. Yeah, I had to stay up all night working on a project. Okay, that looks pretty good. Vamos a dejarlo así. Si fuéramos, if we were to have used instead, esto está bien, el had to stay está bien, pero si hubiéramos usado en vez de had to, el must, we would need to use must have stayed up all night working on a project. Pero el problema con usar must have stayed aquí es que implica como lo que le dije ayer del hangover, que no recuerda lo que hizo la noche anterior. And en este caso, pues he actually does remember what he was doing. He was working on a project. So, yes, en este caso, el had to stay is perfect. Okay, then they ask, did you finish? No, I work on it later today, but I have a million other things to do. Okay. So, si se fijan, this sentence was in the past tense because it says that I had to stay up all night last night, pero ahora Alondra, exacto. This one says that we have to work on it later today. So that means it's future. Y entonces usamos have to. Y entonces work. En este caso, el have to funciona como si estuviera hablando del futuro, which is exactly what we need here. And then finally, we have you be really busy. So this person's eyes are red. We assume they must be really tired. This person confirms that they had to stay up all night working on a project that they were not able to finish. They have to work on it later today, but they have a lot of other things to do. So we can make another logical conclusion exactamente, Alondra. No sé si lo escribiste hace ratito, pero lo acabo de ver. Must be really busy. I am. All right, good. So aquí tenemos el ejercicio 40. You must be really tired. I had to stay up working all night. I have to work on it later today. You must be really busy. I am. Okay, very good. Después del 40 vamos para el 41, después la tabla. Okay. So exercise 41. Complete the questions with the correct words from the list. 2 words don't fit any questions. Ok, así que tenemos 4 blancos aquí y tenemos 6 opciones. Aquí dice que 2 de ellas no van en ninguna. You can work this weekend, blank you. He won't be late, blank he. We'd like you to stay, blank we. They don't have to leave, blank they. So tenemos can't, couldn't, do, does, will, y wouldn't. Suchi, deja eso. Ok. So la gata está debajo del sofá y está rompiendo algo. Anyways, I think she stopped. So la primera, you can work this weekend, blank you. El jefe preguntándote, mira, tú puedes trabajar este fin de semana, ¿verdad? So podemos usar can't, couldn't, do, does, will, or wouldn't. Okay, no, hold on. La gata no ha parado. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, pues ya dejó de chaval con el sofá. So you can work this weekend, blank you. Could we use can't, couldn't, do? Okay, Alondra says can't. Vamos a ver cómo se ve ahí. Okay. You can work this weekend, can't you? And that actually fits there perfectly. En el caso de couldn't, pudiéramos usar couldn't, but only if este can fuera could también. So you could work this weekend, couldn't you? So el could va con could, el can va con can't. Okay, that's pretty good. Vamos a continuar con el 2. He won't be late. Will, exactamente, Lisa Muen. And Alondra as well. Hablando de Will, y no es Smith. He won't be late, will he? En este caso, recuerden que el won't en verdad es un contraction de will plus not. So, como dije ahorita, we use can with can't. Y en este caso usamos will with lo que realmente es will not. Good job. We would like you to stay blank we. So ya usamos el can't y ya usamos el will. We'd like you to stay blank we. Do. Okay. Hay que ver, what is this contraction doing? Okay. ¿Cuáles son los componentes de weed? Es we did. Está cerca, Alondra. It's not we did. So, en este caso, ok, pues had. Fíjate, it fits, pero tenemos que dejarnos llevar de lo que está aquí arriba. Porque pues had no aparece como couldn't, do, does o wouldn't. Pues le voy a dar un la. Como ya le dije a Alondra que el did no es, entonces tú descartas el do y descartas el does. So nos queda couldn't y wouldn't. Voy a escribirlo al revés. So I'm starting from the last letter. Ok, exacto. So esto sería. Ay, Dios mío. Ay, Dios mío. Who taught me how to spell? Ok. So en este caso, el weed funciona como we would. Una mezcla de we and would se convierte en weed. So en este caso, como dice Lee Samuel, we're going to use wouldn't. Voy a poner aquí. Fantastic. So you can work this weekend, can't you? He won't be late, will he? We'd like you to stay, wouldn't we? They don't have to leave. They don't have to leave blank day. Ahora sí va una que dijo Alondra hace 2 minutos. Ahora sí. They don't have to leave, do they? Okay. Si se fijan, mira, aquí está el mismo do. Okay. Make it easy. Okay. So you can work this weekend, can't you? He won't be late, will he? We'd like you to stay, wouldn't we? And they don't have to leave, do they? Disculpe. Okay. So let's go to table 712 and begin with tag questions with modal auxiliaries. Okay. De hecho, aquí tiene you can come, can't you? So aquí tenemos can y can't. She won't tell you, will she? He should help, shouldn't he? They couldn't do it, could they? We would like to help, wouldn't we? Tag questions are common with these modal auxiliaries. Can, will, should, could, and would. Que de hecho, a lot of these function as future verbs. Pero esto es un tema para otro día. Right now, this is not what we're going to talk about. Okay. So they have to leave, don't they? They don't have to leave, do they? He has to leave, doesn't he? He doesn't have to leave, does he? You had to leave, didn't you? You didn't have to leave, did you? ¿Qué estamos viendo aquí en la F, la G, después la H y la I, después la J y la K? Tag questions are also common with have to, has to, and had to. Notice that the forms of do are used for the tag in F through K. So, si se fijan, we have positive, negative. Y entonces terminamos con negative, positive. So, si la oración empieza con un positivo, termina con un negativo. Si empieza con un negativo, termina con un positivo. So, it is inverse. It's either positive, Dios mío, and then negative, Dios mío. Or it could be the opposite. It could be negative and then positive. Así es como se ven estas oraciones. Igualmente, we have he has to, doesn't he? So that's positive, negative. Y la otra es he doesn't have to, does he? So that's negative, positive. Igualmente aquí, you had to leave, didn't you? So positive and negative. You didn't have to leave, did you? So negative and positive. So, como dice en matemáticas, esto es, perdón, a la inversa. Okay. We can see this chart another time. Después de esa tabla, vamos para el 42. Okay. So you can complete these tag questions. Now, aquí no te dice con que tú puedes llenar esos blancos, but you can look up here and you can see all these options. So we can use can, will, should, could, would, have to, has to, and had to. And of course, other forms of do. So didn't, doesn't, don't. So aquí tienen 12 ejercicios. Está buena en lo que ustedes, para que ustedes vayan cogiéndose un par de minutitos para completar. So I'm gonna write it in the chat. Take a few minutes. Okay, see. Complete exercise 42. And of course, I'll be back in a few minutes. Entonces, aquí lo que puedo hacer es para que se vea todo. Mm. Okay, there you go. Recuerden que you can use this chart for those answers. I'll be right back. Son las 58, vuelvo a las 8:03, like in 5 minutes. Okay, and I'm back. Now, ustedes me dicen, what do we put in these blanks? No tienen que ser en orden. Si acaso saben la 2 pero no la 1, you can just tell me that. Okay, Alondra, so you're telling me number 1 is can't. You can answer these questions. Can't you? Okay, Eli Samuel wouldn't. Melinda won't tell anyone our secret. Wouldn't she? So cambiamos el won't por wouldn't. Why is that? Vamos a ver. Okay, ahora sí. So, exacto. So we have won't, que ya dijimos ahorita que era una mezcla de will y not. So ya sabemos que este es negativo. And like we saw here, empezamos con un negativo, terminamos con un positivo. So in this one sería will. Ahora sí, Josian. So number 3. Well. Okay, Alondra. So el 3 dice que es wouldn't. Alice would like to come with us, wouldn't she? Exactamente. I don't have to do more chores, blank I. Alondra says 4 is due. Vamos a ver. I don't have to do more chores, do I? Perfect. Number 5, Steven shouldn't come to the meeting, blank he. Number 5, Alondra, should. Okay, good. Should is good. Okay. Steven shouldn't come to the meeting, should he? Okay. Flies can fly upside down, blank they, can't they. Exacto. Y tenemos otro. Bueno, todos son así. But another clear example of positive and then negative. Negativo, positivo. Negativo, positivo, blah, blah. Okay. You would rather have your own apartment, blank you. Number 7, wouldn't. Wouldn't. Ahora, Alondra, no tienes la 8, ni anything after 9. So la 8. Number 8. Jill has to renew her driver's license. Blank she? Bueno, vamos a hacer la 9 ya que la tenemos ahí. If you want to catch your bus, you should leave now. Shouldn't you? Ok, se nos falta la 8, la 10, 11 y la 12. Just fine. Evangeli. Number 10. Mr. Baxter will be here tomorrow. Will she? Miss Baxter. En este caso, Evangeli, tenemos el will positivo aquí. So let's make this negative. So en vez de will sería a ver si recuerdan eso de inglés básico 1. Ahora sí. Won't. Fantastic. Nos falta la 8, la 11 y la 12. Alondra, number 11. You couldn't hear me, could you? Ok. Así como cuando te llaman por WhatsApp, que si no tienen una señal perfecta no se escucha nada. You couldn't hear me, could you? So all we're missing is number 8 and number 12. We have to be at the doctor's early tomorrow, blank we. And Jill has to renew her license, blank she. Casi le chateo la contestación de la 8. So, can, will, should, could, would. Have to, has to, and had to. Y también tenemos los diferentes forms of do, que son don't, doesn't, y didn't. So which of these will fit in 8 and 12? Vamos a hacer este negativo. Okay, so we have Jill has to renew her driver's license. Doesn't she? That's good. Podemos usar doesn't and it fits perfectly. We could also use el has en negativo. So sería has plus not, que sería tenemos has and not. Entonces cuando hacemos un contraction, what we really do is that juntamos las dos palabras, and then when we eliminate a letter, ahí es donde va el, ¿cómo se llama eso? El apostrophe, en español la apóstrofe. Okay, so these work fine, pero yo quiero quedarme con este, because we may be able to use this other one en la 12. So vamos a ver if doesn't fits here. We have to be at the doctor's early tomorrow, doesn't we? Ya veo que me equivoqué. This doesn't use doesn't. We could use something else. En vez de doesn't, sería otra forma de el do, did. Don't, exacto. Okay. We could also, en vez de don't, pudiéramos usar el negativo de have. So we could use have plus not, que se convierte en el mismo truco que vieron aquí, lo pueden hacer acá. So, si yo voy eliminando letras acá, how do we make this into its own contraction? Hay que eliminar una sola letra, and then we put an apostrophe there. Vamos a quedarnos con lo que sería el negativo de this main verb here. So haven't. So you can answer these questions, can't you? Melinda won't tell anyone our secret, will she? Alice would like to come with us, wouldn't she? I don't have to do more chores, do I? Stephen shouldn't come to the meeting, should he? Flies can't fly upside down, can't they? You would rather have your own apartment, wouldn't you? Jill has to renew her driver's license, hasn't she? If you want to catch your bus, you should leave now, shouldn't you? Miss Baxter will be here tomorrow, won't she? You couldn't hear me, could you? We have to be at the doctor's early tomorrow, haven't we? Okay? And that's pretty good for now. Después del 42 al 43. So let's read each group of sentences, decide who the speaker is, and a possible situation for each group. Group A, show me your driver's license. Take it out of your wallet, please. Step out of the car. Group B, open your mouth. Stick out your tongue. Say ah. Let me take a closer look, and don't bite me. Okay? So we read each group of sentences. Now we have to decide who the speaker is in each group and a possible situation for each group. So who is speaking in group A? What type of person is this? Una pregunta aquí random. ¿Hoy es feriado o algo así? ¿Hoy se celebra algo? Because I just got an email from a student from another section preguntándome si hoy hay clase. Ah, sí, pero yeah. Hasta ahora solamente tuvimos un día libre en todo el semestre y fue, bueno, 2 días libres, el día de la elección y el día antes. So este semestre ha sido una chavienda. Okay, I'm just gonna tell her. So me dicen, ¿quién está hablando? Who is speaking? Who could ask you to show them your driver's license? Ahí está. So, Josian, police officer. Okay, and what is the possible situation? La situación, like, why would a police officer ask you for that stuff? Switchy, me tienes loco. So the reason why a police officer would ask you to show them your driver's license, take it out of your wallet, please. They would ask you to step out of the car. Why? After being pulled over. Okay. And you were pulled over because you ran over a cat or you were speeding. That's just, for reckless driving. Porque a mí nunca que van parado 2 veces, ¿verdad? Pero nunca me han dicho que me baje del carro. After reckless driving. All right. Well, we can just leave it at after being pulled over. Okay. Okay, so group B. Ya casi ahora. Okay. Yo creo que con esto terminamos hoy. Group B. Who is, a doctor. A doctor tells you to open your mouth. They tell you to stick out your tongue, to say ah. They want to take a closer look, and they ask you not to bite. It could be a regular doctor, like un generalista. It could be somebody else. It could be maybe a doctor that works with teeth. I don't know what those are called. A dentist. A doctor, let's say doctor/dentist, and they're inspecting what? Las caries, so cavities. They could be inspecting los cordales, que son molars, I think. You could just say a zombie's oral hygiene. Okay, that's one reason why they would bite. Okay, that's pretty good. Vamos a continuar con el 713 más tarde. And whatever else we have left for that. Quería mencionarle algo. ¿Dónde está? Okay. So you might have already seen this, pero pues, necesito participación. So yesterday I put up an announcement diciendo que tengo 2 cositas que tienen que saber. One of these is that you can pueden matricularse pronto. So ustedes ven este tweet del CE Room, si no me equivoco es el Consejo de Estudiantes. Y cuando quieran. Okay. Ya los turnos de matrícula se encuentran disponibles en este link. Aquí le compartimos la fecha de información importante para el periodo de matrícula para el segundo semestre. So, tenemos el viernes 13 de noviembre, que es este viernes, la matrícula para estudiantes bajo probatoria y deben comunicarse con sus departamentos para hacer su matrícula. So, si tienen probatoria algunos de ustedes, ahí tienen, el 13. El lunes 16 y desde el lunes 16 al lunes 23 de noviembre, el periodo de matrícula para el segundo semestre, eso es regular. No se estarán asignando turnos de matrícula para el jueves 19. I don't know why. El miércoles 25.
Creo que es el día del descubrimiento, el 19.
Ah,
19 de
ok, sí.
noviembre es el día del descubrimiento, por eso.
Ok, sí, porque me confundí pensando que era Acción de Gracias, pero todavía no. Esto sería más en la semana del 25, el 26 sería. Ok, so del 25 de noviembre al 12 de diciembre, el periodo inicial de ajustes de matrícula a través de BUTI, con asistencia de los departamentos a través de ajustes upr.edu. Ese es uno de dos tweets. El segundo tweet está aquí abajo. Y los estudiantes con cero balance en su factura podrán confirmar matrícula a partir el día antes de Navidad, hasta el 12 de enero. Y matrícula que no haya sido confirmada será cancelada a partir del 12 de enero. Las listas de espera no estarán disponibles y el sistema de retención de matrícula estará disponible para los estudiantes. Bla, bla. Ok, so tienen eso, pues ya saben que eso está ahí. You can just click on this thing y les sale. En este caso, I need you to complete the professor's evaluation. Ok, necesito mínimo 50% de participación. Ya 2 o 3 personas bregaron después de esto, so tengo un porcentaje un poquito más alto en esta. Pueden hundir aquí para completar mi evaluación. Es 100% anónimo. Si usted se fija, cuando usted va a ese link que tienes que entrar al portal, you can just click here y pues obviamente mis Photoshop skills son bien valiosos. And then you click on my name y después de eso le lleva a esto. Van a ver mi nombre aquí, la clase acá. Van a ver el nombre suyo aquí arriba. And that's it. Son como 20, 30 preguntitas, le toma como 10 minutos llenarlo. Yo recibo los resultados, pero estos son anónimos, so yo no sé quién dijo qué. So, si hay algo que a usted le gustó de pues cómo llevamos a cabo las clases, lo puedes dejar saber. Si hay algo que quisieras que mejore, también me lo dejas saber. And that's it. Yo creo que ya, bueno, ya estamos, nos pasamos del tiempo un chispito. Ok, guys, so voy a subirle una tareita el viernes. De hecho, tengo que subirle el segundo quiz. Lo voy a hacer ahora. Y voy a ponerlo para que tengan para el domingo para completarlo, pero you always have una semana adicional para completarlo. Anyways, cualquier duda que tengan, me dejan saber. Estoy en mi hora de oficina ahorita a las 9:30. Me llegan los emails a mi teléfono, así que no me tardo mucho, a menos que esté súper ocupado. But anyways, guys, thank you for your time, for your attention. Nos veremos más tarde. Ok. Thank you, Angelita. Me cuida.